side. And then left healer is... How do you want me to say your name? Do you have a nickname, or do you want me to just say your full name? Halves person?
Most people just say halves.
Halves? Okay, so halves, you're going to be left. Also left is going to be Bujim, me, Zelda, and Push. And then on the right, it's going to be Bubbles. Healer is Firm, then Elva, Salty, Coder, and Cosm. And then, let's see what I have. For interrupt phase, exit left, which is up here, is going to be Bujim and Zelda.
All right.
So I'll explain this after. So exit left, Bujim and Zelda. Exit right, which is up there by the challenge banner, is going to be Elva and Salty. Entrance left over here is going to be Push and I. And then entrance right is going to be Coder and Cosm. So remember your corners. Basically, you are going to be in charge of your corner and the spot immediately to your left. So what can happen is he can throw an orb for interrupt, like right here in this corner, or he can throw one in the middle, right there. In the front, he can throw one in that corner, or he can put one right where the dogs are, and then vice versa. So they're always going to be in the corner or like in between both of the corners. How we do, or how I want to do this, is in exit left, the person who I want to grab the dome and get the interrupt on the boss is going to be Bujim. So you need to pay attention to what orb we have for that round.
Yep.
Pick up the orb and get the interrupt. Zelda, you're going to be there as backup. So you still need to run to that spot with him. If he is down, you need to make sure that you're grabbing the orb and bashing. Or if he grabs it and he needs to be interrupted, you can go over there and do a quick bash. In exit right, Elva, I want you to pick up the orb and do the bash. Salty, you're there as backup. Entrance left, Push, I'm going to have you grab the bubble, the orb, and put it over him and do the bash. I'll back you up. And then entrance, I'm going to have Coder pick it up and do the bash, and then Cosm, you're his backup. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. The first phase, he does the teleport or interrupt at 75%, and then on the second one, when the other boss comes down, it's going to be 70%. So if I can have tanks kind of watch out, I'm going to see if I can have my supports help me with boss percentage. Whatever tank is on the boss, if you can kind of watch it and tell me what's going on. Most important thing for us is we're going to DPS the boss. There's going to be wolves that are going to come in. They should die and cleave. Then at a certain percent, we're going to have an Atro come up. As soon as you hear Atro, you need to take all of your dots off of the boss, turn around, hard target the Atro, and you need to be doing single damage abilities. You need to try to limit your AoEs as much as possible. We want those Atros to go down without cleaving the boss, because we don't want to push them into interrupt. Same thing's going to happen for the other phase. When the other boss comes down, the wolves will die and cleave. We'll turn around, hard target the Atro, do single damage abilities, so like spammables and other stuff, and then we'll turn around and burn the boss and push him into teleport. Tanks, on vet, it is extremely crucial that when he does a heavy, you do not roll dodge. If you roll dodge, you're fucked. You need to block. Biggest thing that people recommend is save your potion until the block happens, because it hits super hard, and pop your potion. After some of these heavies healers, they can get a healing debuff, and it's a heal check, which means that you need to focus them and put them up to full health. First 2 rounds, I'm having the healers swap the dome. I don't care who picks it up first. We can do ice first. Whoever wants to do it, just say grabbing ice. You will watch your bar for about 20 stacks, and then you need to communicate with your healer when you need the dome to be taken over. Make sure that you are saying it audibly and loud. Most important thing for this fight, guys, is we need the comms as clear as possible. The only people who should be talking are me and the supports. If you're getting a res, just say getting res. The worst thing that can happen in here that I've seen with so many groups is the comms get so chaotic that people don't know what they're doing, and then people are running around with chickens like their heads cut off because there's just commentary 24/7. So let's just try to keep it clear. We'll just take it slow, push it when we need to, make sure everybody's in the interrupt phase, and if we wipe, it's okay. We'll come back, we'll talk about it. If somebody says, hey, I saw something, wasn't sure if you saw it, you can bring it up and we'll talk about it then. When the third phase happens, we're going to have people go to their sides. When that happens, I would like the healers to swap their orbs with a specific DPS. So on left side, Boojum, I'm going to have you swap with halves. If for some reason one of you goes down, another DPS can pick it up. When that happens, it is extremely important that if you are the dome holder, you do not cross this line right here. Do not cross it. You need to be in between this. You do not want to go any closer. You need to be staying like right here in this line. Ideally, the tanks will have the boss up there because the boss is going to drop dots that the tank then has to basically adjust the boss so he can drop them along the side. Tanks, if you can't do that, it gets spicy. DPS, just make sure you are not standing in those dots because they hit extremely hard and I have seen them one shot. How to pick up the orb, just make sure you're looking and it should say Piercing Hailstone or on the fire, Destructive Ember. All you have to do is click activate. Make sure that you're communicating when you need the bubble to come off. So when you're around 15-20 stacks, when we're split, just say please take ice or ice swap. However you want to do it, just make it short and concise and clear. One thing that doesn't matter as much on normal, that matters on vet, is the runes. So tanks, one tell for runes is if you're looking at the boss, a rune will spawn underneath his feet, and that's when you know that runes are about to start happening for DPS. If you see it, you need to call it out. When it is called, or even when you're on your side, you need to be making sure as you're DPSing to watch your feet. If you have the rune, you need to come and meet in the center here, and you need to stack on one another until the rune turns gold. And you need to stay until it goes away. Do not stack underneath the orbs. It will make them explode, and you will also die. So don't do that because you're going to wipe a lot of people. Tanks, the swap mechanic visually and on your bar is the same as normal. Ideally, I would like for you guys to count down tank swaps. If you can't, it's okay. Just try to be very careful about what you're taunting and what you're facing towards the group. Make sure if you have rune 2, if you are the dome holder, you need to look and drop the dome before you run to the center. I've seen people get panicked and they run and they still have the dome and then they explode the other side and it does big damage to people. Other than that, it's pretty much it. A lot of it is the same as normal. It's just going to go a lot slower because things hit a lot harder and they have more health. Does anybody have any questions about any of the mechanics or what their job is?
Who's picking up domes on the third phase with the split bosses?
It's going to be the healers and a DPS. On your side, it should be Firm and Elda. It doesn't have to be healer and DPS. If another DPS is comfortable picking it up, we'll kind of see after a pull if we get there how it's feeling. If the healers don't like having the dome during the third phase, and we can have DPS do it. I just need whatever DPS that's doing it to be comfortable with their spatial awareness when they're picking it up, because it's extremely important. And tanks, you will have swap during also the third phase as well. So just make sure that you're calling it out so that you're swapping bosses. Bubbles, make sure that you're bringing ice to fire.
Got it.
Because one boss will already be down. So if that's a boss that you're holding, like let's say you're in main tank position and you have the ice, just take it over. If not, wait for the other one to come down. All groups should already be on their sides with orbs up waiting for tanks to bring the boss in. Just letting you guys know. Tanks can figure out, okay, that's my boss, that's your boss, and then bring him under the domes.
On Atro phases on the, or for the first two phases, where do you want the Atros stacked at? On, oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I cut you off before you finished. You know how on normal we try to keep them in the back of the dome? Like
yep.
Immediately behind the boss? That's where you're going to want to try to keep them.
Okay.
Make sure, DPS, when you hear Atro coming up, that you're paying attention, because they can just, like, fucking charge group. And they can do cleaves and stuff, and they hit just as hard as they normally do. I've had them, when I was healing this on Bet a few weeks ago, I had one come up and instantly clap me. Because nobody called Atro, and he just, like, came in a group. So, just be spatially aware. Does range that are able, do they have Crushing Shock on? Crushing Shock can be a spammable as well. So anybody that has a staff that can have it, please, please, please do. One really cool thing about this is that if somebody has a dome on the boss during interrupt, and let's say they're like reaching for the dome, but he's sticking his hands in the air and shooting the spray and he has to be interrupted, even if you're not under the dome or have it and you're like across the way, but your Crushing Shock is like active, you could literally hit it and do a Crushing Shock and interrupt him without the dome person even turning around and bashing him. So it's a real quick save if you're paying attention and you're knowing that he needs an interrupt and you have that Crushing Shock. If you see it and you're within range, hit it. Just get that interrupt. Make sense? Cool. Well, now that I talked...
Where is Crushing Shock?
It is under the Destruction staff. I don't even know what the base morph of it is called.
Force Shock is the base morph.
Okay,
the
and then
first
Crushing
ability.
Shock. Crushing Shock is the interruptible one. Morph.
So we use that, like, can you repeat when we use Crushing Shock specifically to interrupt?
So, you know how when boss goes to teleport, like how on normal, when he goes to a corner and you have to put the dome over him and do an interrupt?
Yeah.
So let's say you're under that dome, or someone else is grabbing that dome, but the boss is sticking his hands in the air and shooting his little balls out, because that's when he needs an interrupt. If the people over there aren't seeing that and getting the bash quick enough, but you're within range, you can put your you can basically like turn towards the boss and hit your Crushing Shock, and it'll send like the interrupt ability to him to interrupt him. It's basically a fail-safe if somebody is not getting the bash quick enough.
Okay.
You can help with that bash. If they're like delayed because they have to turn and get the orb, and then as soon as the orb shows up, then they have to turn around. If it's already that delayed and you're just within range and you can just hit your Crushing Shock really quick, it'll make it to where he's interrupted, and it's basically like less chance for death. Because just because you have the orb over him doesn't mean that he's being interrupted. You just have to have the orb on him in order to interrupt. I don't want to go like super explanation-y, but like if you see it, If the dome is on him and you don't think somebody is getting to it quick enough and you can crushing shock him really quick, just do it.
Alright.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I think I've talked your guys' ear off enough, so if nobody has any questions, I'm gonna say let's stack up and get this thing a roll. Does everybody remember where they're going and what their corner is?
Yep, exit left.
Yep.
Okay, sounds good. Alright, let's go ahead and pull. Okay, we have Fire Boss coming down. Okay, we have Wolves coming in. They should die and cleave. Let's go ahead and take dots off the boss. Let's just do single target. We have an Atro coming up behind.
Please.
Okay, tank swap, guys. Take all damage off boss, please.
Got him.
Boss is being pushed. All damage off. You should hard target.
Coder.
Hard target one of the Atros, guys. Single target abilities only.
Take dome, please.
Let's get a res.
Oof.
Oh, shh. Tank down.
It's gonna push him into tank swap.
Take dome, please.
I had an Atro snipe me, sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, blockade.
Okay, let's get all burn off boss.
Nope.
Yep, no. It's okay. Let's just wipe it up. I sound like Sam. I'm saying wipe it up. Jesus Christ. This is what happens when I listen to him for like 2.5 hours.
Ready, take swap, where's levels?
I'm dead and everything's loose.
When there's only one, everything's focused around him.
I bet you could have sold that totally.
Right? What was killing you? Tanks.
A big whirlwind.
Big whirlwind.
The Atro. Probably.
I
When you
got
tank
two.
swap?
The Atros summon 2 whirlwinds. In a
He
row.
came in like fucking so fast. I feel like we're gonna have to take this very slow. Where everybody needs to do single target abilities to slowly push these into phases. Because we have a lot of burn happening. That's why Atros charged in and then we had 2. Yes. Okay. Let's all do single target abilities only. So like spammables and other single targets. Don't do any AoE. And let's just slowly push them. Mm-hmm. Okay, drop ice and grab fire, please. We need fire on the boss, please. Thank you. Okay, remember guys, single targets. Okay, we have an Atro forming behind us. Take all dots off of boss. Hard target that Atro, please.
got boss.
Let's move him, Mag. He's too close to the boss. Please stop all damage, guys. Stop damage. If you can, just kite that. Atro, we need fire up.
Got firm.
Yeah, both healers are down from the Atros.
Getting res.
Single target only, guys. Single target. Okay, let's get this res before we push boss.
Tank down.
Let's get bubbles up before we push, please.
Getting bubbles.
Thank you.
Okay. He's doing teleport, or he's not doing teleport. My bad. Let's have tank swap,
Grab
guys.
fire.
People go to their corners, please. Everybody go to their corners.
Got him. Oh, I did have him.
Everybody in their corners. Good job. We're grabbing fire dome. Make sure we're doing fire. Let's res Boojum, please.
Got you, Vision. Ah, shit, what killed me?
The interrupt. That's when you would hit your crushing shock. Let's get these reses. Drop that dome, please. Look at it and drop the dome. Somebody needs to put ice on the boss, please.
Yep, got him.
Let's get these
Thank you.
reses. Single target only on boss, please. Let's not push him too hard. This is not a DPS raise.
Thank you.
Make sure we're calling when domes need to be swapped.
Yeah, please.
Watch out. There's AoE on the ground.
Okay, let's try to bring the boss back in.
Yep.
Okay. Let's continue the single damage. Let's turn him away from group, so that way those cones don't come in. Those whirlwinds. Make sure you're calling out those bubble swaps, guys. 20 seconds goes by really quick. Okay, hard target. Hard target the Atro that's behind us,
Take dome,
group.
please.
I got boss.
Let's move the Atro away from, Bubbles need to heal really quick. Thank you.
I've got him.
Watch out for those whirlwinds. Okay, take all damage off, please, until they get bubbles up. The Atro is
Take
too
down,
close for
please.
siege damage.
Getting bubbles. Oh,
Somebody take down.
Got it.
Take dome, other healer, please. Ice.
I got boss.
Thank you. Okay, single target only on this Atro, guys. Watch out for those fire winds. Do not stand in them.
Okay.
Let's get Zelda up before we push boss, please.
Let me know when you got it. I got Atro. Dots are on the
Let's get up
ground.
salty. DPS, do not stand in those dots. Let's stay together.
Take dome, please.
Okay, let's get to our interrupt positions, please. Everybody get to their corners, please. Make sure you are helping out your partner with interrupts, guys.
alright.
I was. A few of us were.
Okay, everybody needs to go to their sides.
Let's get.
Healers are down.
Please bring the dome. Please bring the dome over the boss, guys. Let's get reses. Do not push bosses. Make sure domes are over boss.
I've got second
Get
boss.
that interrupt, please. Get the interrupt.
Need the dome.
There we go. Bring the dome up on the fire side, please, guys.
Take the
Bring it
dome,
up.
please.
It needs to cover the boss. We can wipe. It's okay. We did very good for a second pull. Very, very good.
That was a lot better.
We just got a lot farther than I ever have with other groups, guys. Very good job.
That is very true.
What are we struggling with, supports? Just out of curiosity.
So, I think there's people grabbing the bubbles when me have them. So
Okay.
it's just, if you're gonna grab the bubble, just let us know, because then I don't know who to listen out for, because I'm out for halves, silly. So, just wanna that help me a little bit, so I can keep an eye on her and she can keep an eye on me.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it right now. During phase 1 and 2, absolutely no one should take dome except for firm and halves, unless one of them is down. If one of them is down, I will take dome. The only person that should touch a dome, if for some reason the healer is down, is a person who is not responsible for grabbing the dome during interrupt phase. Because if you grab it and then you go to interrupt and you have the debuff, you're screwed. Everybody is screwed. So it should only be halves and firm. Mm-hmm.
I have another question. So when we're stacking, do you want us to be stacking right up to the boss?
We can, but honestly,
like, how are you
we could be, there should be a space in between the boss and the group, because he drops all those dots.
Right,
and then that way the
right.
boss, then the group should easily be able to turn around, and the Atros should be immediately behind the boss.
Okay.
They should be in one line. It should be like the boss, the group, the Atros. Which, I know tanks, it's really hard to position those Atros sometimes, and being like situationally aware in there, and sometimes they like don't want to move. And also DPS, when those flame like whirlwind tornadoes are going, do not be in them. Even if you're melee, you can definitely be out of those and still get your attacks off. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering, because I didn't know like how distant the tanks needed to be, because if we want to make sure we heal them through their, the dot that they get, we just need to make sure they're like within reach. So
yes. So group can be stacked up on the boss if you want. We can be like in the boss's butt, or we can be a little bit spaced.
Okay. Cool.
Because those dots on vet definitely hurt the tanks. And they have to kite them, and sometimes you get what you get when you're kiting.
Gotcha.
Okay, really, really good for second pull. Only thing that I will just remind you guys is after the second phase happens, when we kill the last set of Atros, when you guys are in your interrupt corners for that last part before both of the bosses come down, make sure you are already up here waiting for your tank and you have your bubble. If you see your bubble person down, so on right side it's Elva, on left side it's Ujum, or if the healer's firm, halves are down, you as a DPS should know, I need to pick this up. So just say, grabbing fire, and you need to sit here. Now when the tanks are bringing the boss over, that bubble has to be over them. You don't need to run all the way over, but literally just enough so that the tank can sit there and get the bash for the interrupt, because that's what killed Fireside over here. Is those bosses like to move really slow, so Bubbles was bringing him over, but the dome wasn't far enough over him for him to be able to get that interrupt to register. So don't take the dome all the way across, but just make sure as the DPS of the dome you're spatially aware, and you just make sure that it's slightly over the boss to get that interrupt. Mag, I think you were already heading in that direction, but push was up here because you want to start with the boss up a little bit, because when he drops all of those dots, you need to be able to pull the boss along the edge and drop those dots. And still have the dome over him. If you start here, it gets complicated for you to walk forward and then across. So the group should basically be starting like up here with their domes on third phase. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. Very, very, very good progress. Okay, let's continue doing the same thing that we did last time. Just single target and staying focused. Here we go. Okay, drop fire. We need ice. Put the ice dome on, please. Thank you. Okay, remember, single target only, guys. Okay, wolves are gonna come in and die and cleave. Okay, everybody turn in hard target Atro. It's behind us. Tank swap needs to happen. Don't burn Atro when they're right next to each other, group. Let's wait until they're moving. Okay, good. We have 2. Make sure single target only abilities. Getting mag. What's the boss HP at? Bubbles, if you can see it.
76.
Okay. Okay, let's continue to just push this Atro only. We need the ice dome, please. We need to get the healer up. Thank you. And Bubbles is down. Please don't do any damage. Let's get reses. No damage should be done at all.
Got the boss.
Somebody take shield, please. Ice. Thank you.
Tank swap.
Got it.
Who took the doom from me now?
Yeah, this
Okay.
was happening to me earlier.
We need... Okay, we need everybody to go into teleports. Please go to your corners. We need to get Bubbles up.
I got bubbles.
Okay guys, like I said before, nobody should be taking the dome unless you are a healer or the healer is down. I have the debuff. I called this too early. Somebody needs to put ice on. He does it at fucking...
I got mag.
He does it at 65. I'm such a fucking idiot. I just want to push this guy.
Okay.
Okay, get to your corners.
down. FYI.
Drop it. Drop down.
Dropped it. Oh. Oh, wait. I can't get ice down.
It's okay. That was bad. I called it too early. He teleports at 65, and the second boss teleports at 70, and I totally thought it was 70. Okay. You can blame me for that one. Okay. Yeah, once everybody's not a ghost, though, so wait to pull. Okay, we're Gucci. So many rainbow bashes, I love it. Okay, ice boss is coming down. Okay, single target abilities only, please.
Take dome.
Okay, take all dots off boss. We have an Atro forming. We need a hard target Atro. Take all dots off boss, please.
Got the outro.
Pink swap is happening.
Got boss.
Okay, let's get Atro behind. Okay, single target only, guys. Good job. Careful where you're standing. Do not stand in those whirlwinds.
Dots are down.
Okay. Ooh.
Oof.
Getting res. It
Take
was.
dome, please. Or did you already?
Next Atro is coming up.
Got
Take all
mag.
dots off boss, guys. All dots off boss.
Got it.
Let's. Okay.
I got outro.
And pick up fire. Let's get reses. Don't push anything.
Okay, I got boss.
Guys, please stop taking the dome. It's
Please.
really starting to annoy me.
Please.
It is
Oh,
really
it was
starting to
me
annoy me.
taking it from you.
Okay, so let's wipe it up really quick.
Yeah, it was confusing me earlier because Havs called that she needed the dome taken. I went to take it, thought I took it, but apparently it's somebody had taken it like right before me. And so it was throwing me off, so.
Yeah, I took the
just...
doom now after you, from you, I see, because you're
Yeah.
going for interrupt eventually, so.
Okay, let's do a little woosah. Woosah. I know sometimes it just happens and like DPS, you're like DPSing away, you might accidentally look over there and take the dome. Like, I get it. It's cool. Supports, one thing that I'll ask is, let's say you say take ice. Can the other healer just say taking ice? Just so that I know your guys' voices now, that I can understand the dome swapping. When it's quiet, it makes me nervous, and I don't know who's picking it up. So, like, right then, the reason why I was like, hey, this is annoying me, is because I had picked it up because I saw Firm was down, and I didn't know if Habs was picking it up or not. I thought it was a DPS. So, that reaction was based off of them before saying somebody else is taking it.
It's alright.
If you hear Habs say, I need... take ice, take fire, and you see Firm is down, and you're like, cool, I'm comfortable holding dome, just say, okay, getting fire. One person. I don't care who it is. Just so that everybody is not looking over and being like, oh shit, I need to pick up the dome. That's pretty much it. Those whirlwinds suck, and those kite bubbles also suck. Bubbles got stuck out of the dome and died when he was trying to kite those things. And they stay on the ground and then they go away. So that was just bad RNG. Yes.
With
know.
what's your preference on kiting those? Because it actually takes a good bit of space. Do you want them in a straight line, or do you want me to kind of like do a like a corner thing? Because if I pick them up, I'm basically kiting them all the way out to here, so I'm pretty sure it's making it hard for the healers to get to me. But I'm trying to avoid like bringing it like an L around the group. So
maybe if you like horseshoe.
Okay.
I've seen tanks just bring it around the group like an L, and like the group just walks back, like stays away from it. That's what I've seen though.
You just need to make sure that you're within range for heals. And if anything, like the dome during these phases should stay here. Like, there's no reason why we should be like do all over the place unless the tanks are down. If the tanks are down, you gotta do what you gotta do with those Atros to not get cleaved to the fucking face. But the dome should stay here. And if we adjust, the entire group adjusts with the dome. So if you want to do an L, if you want to do a horseshoe, I think straight line is not the way to go. It's
Okay.
what got you killed. You were all the way out here and you were
Yep.
too far away. Whatever you want to experiment with, I feel like each tank is going to have their own way that they want to do it. As long as it's not in the dome and you're not like kiting all the dots into the dome with the DPS, then we should be spatially aware enough to just go around it.
Okay.
The way,
Based on
and sorry, I just wanted to say, I don't know if this will give you some insight, but the way I've seen tank swap is the main tank like slowly walks around and drops the dots like clockwise, and then the off tank who's tanking the Atros goes clockwise and goes back to where the main tank was and tanks the main boss.
However you guys want to swap, it doesn't matter to me, but as soon as you grab the other boss, you need to move it away. It shouldn't be like camping out by the main, because when you do that is when we start pushing to Atros and it becomes a nightmare. I'm trying to call out swap when I see it, just because I know that sometimes you guys can't. But let's just make sure we, as soon as we get taunt of the opposite one, you are immediately taking it away from the boss.
Okay.
Okay. We're good. Let's do it. We'll send. You said go. I poked. I did a light attack.
Everything's fine.
It is. It is all good. We're doing good. We just had a couple bad RNG pulls. Okay, ice is coming down. We need to drop ice and get fire, please.
I'll grab fire.
Okay. Single target damage. Atro forming. Everybody take dots off boss. Hard target Atro.
Got the outro.
Tank swap, guys. Start planning on it now. Please
Got
do
tank.
not damage
Fire,
anything.
please.
Or got
Grab
boss.
fire.
Grabbing fire.
Thank you.
Thank you. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. Watch out for
Dots
those
are-
whirlwinds.
Dots are down.
Perfect. Perfect. Very, very good. Watch out for that.
Grab fire, please.
Grabbing fire.
Okay, next Atro, please take dots off boss. Hard target Atro. Tank swap. Let's not do any damage, guys. Let's let the tank swap, please.
Got it. Got outro.
Okay. Let's move Atro back a tiny bit if he'll move.
Okay.
Okay, good job. Let's push the boss a little bit. When you put fire on, please. We need a
Grabbing
fire
fire.
orb. Okay, perfect. Interrupt. Good job. Tank swap. Okay, let's go ahead and get to our corners, guys. Get to corners. Everybody to their
Got the
corners.
boss. Did have the boss.
Okay, making sure you're watching out for your friends, helping them if they need interrupt. Okay, let's get reses, please. Habs, I'm gonna have you grab ice if you can.
Oh, got.
Put ice over boss. Let's get reses, please. Do not push boss. Do not
Okay.
push boss.
Got Alva.
Let's not do any damage until everybody's back up. Okay, single target abilities
Dots.
only, guys.
Dots are up.
Okay, let's get bubbles.
Grab them, please.
Grabbing down.
Alright, single target. Wolves are gonna die and cleave. Okay, Atro is up. Take all dots off boss. Tank swap, yep.
Okay.
Let's stop burn.
Got
Stop burn
boss.
until tank swap.
Somebody grab ice, please.
Grabbing
got it.
ice.
Thank you.
Okay, let's do a single target on these Atros. Watch out for the whirlwinds that they're gonna put out, guys.
Get ready for dots. Dots are out.
Okay, let's do some damage on this boss.
Alright.
Don't
Grab
push
that
too
boss.
hard. Let's switch ice stone, good job. Okay, next Atro is gonna be forming. Take all dots off boss, please.
Boss.
Hard
Swap.
target Atro. Tank swap, let's stop all damage DPS until tank swap.
Got Atro.
Okay, let's wait until the Atro's moved away from the boss. Let's get bubbles up, please.
Grab dome, please.
Watch out for those winds.
Grabbing
Do not get
ice.
caught in them.
Oof, down.
Got Atro.
Okay. Let's get reses. Watch out for those. Watch out for those winds, guys. Okay, everybody needs to get to their interrupt positions. Get to interrupt. This is gonna be bad. Yep.
We weren't there in time.
He got pushed. He does interrupt at 70. He got pushed.
This is like one. This is like one of the most finicky fights I've ever been in.
It is. We got this, guys. We're doing extremely well. Let's get it. So let's make sure when tanks are swapping, guys, that we do not burn anything. If people are down too, we don't want to burn anything either. We can take this fight really slow to make it work. Okay, drop fire. We're gonna need ice. Ooh, who touched it?
Okay.
Who touched it?
I was about to say. Getting res.
Forgot the boss.
I am grabbing ice.
What?
Let's get the other healer up. Let's take all burn off boss, please, until this healer is up.
I just stood up and got killed again.
It's alright.
I'll grab ice from you, ice.
Okay. Single target only, please. I don't even care if it's light attacks, if you're... Okay, hounds are forming. Ooh, let's make sure that is not facing group. Tank, please. Okay, we have Atro
Grab
coming
ice,
up.
please. Grab
okay.
ice.
Grabbing ice.
Thank you.
Tank
Alright.
swap. Stop all burn. Stop
Got
all
boss.
burn. Okay, let's get this Atro back a little bit farther. Okay, burn Atro. Watch out for those winds.
And dots are out.
Grab
in
dome,
the back.
please. Take ice, please.
Getting res.
Okay, let's stop burn. No burn until
Pulling
mag
boss
is
back
up.
up to the front.
Okay, single target only. Watch out for these dots,
Need a
DPS.
tank
Please
swap.
do not stop on them.
Alright.
Okay, the next Atro is coming up. Take all your dots off the boss. Hard target Atro.
Got the Atro.
Single target damage on him.
Grab ice.
Grabbing eyes.
Thank you.
Watch out for the winds that are going to come out, guys. You're a little bit close. Perfect. So let's get the dome back over the boss. Watch out for those.
Okay.
Yep, let's take all burn off. All burn off. Get to your positions. Everybody get to your corners. Everyone to your corners.
Okay,
It's going to be ice
Got it.
dome. It's going to be ice. Make sure you're picking up ice and bashing. Ice and bash. Ice and bash. Ice, 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 ice. Yep. Okay, good job. Drop ice, please. Drop ice.
Shit. So stupid. Piercing ghost.
Interrupt. I'm getting res. Oh, thank you, push. No damage, guys, no damage. Let's just recover really quick and get back under here. Okay. Let's do some single target on this guy.
Grab fire, please.
Grabbing fire.
Okay, Atro. Take all dots off of boss. Hard target the Atro, please.
Got the Atro.
Tank swap. Tank swap. No
Okay.
damage, guys. No damage. Watch out for that cleave.
I got the boss. Come on.
Ooh.
Nope.
Ah, he's right in the dot.
The dome dropped.
Well, the dome dropped, and then the boss went into his his interrupt phase, standing right in
Yeah.
a dot.
Yeah.
It says on the sheet, it says his shards may only be interrupted when he's inside of the dome. So I think
Correct.
he wasn't inside the
The
dome.
dome dropped right before he did his
Oh,
interrupt, is what
okay.
happened.
Yep.
Over here, Zelda, why did you have the dome?
Over here?
Yes, I saw you with the dome. Was Boojum down?
Or he wasn't there yet. He was doing the. He needed to be interrupted. So.
Okay. Just make sure when you have the dome, like, if he, because I saw the dot in the center up there, even if you're not standing right next to him, as long as the dome is over that dot, like let's say the dot's here, and you have the dome, with your crushing shock, just make sure the dome is over him, and just tap him with your crushing shock, and it'll do the interrupt on this side.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I didn't see if Boojum was over there or not, but I just saw you with the dome, so I thought I would ask.
I was. Sorry, Zelda. I should have grabbed the dome. I ran for the internet while you had it.
It's okay. It's all right. Just make sure to utilize your crushing shock when you can in those instances where maybe you don't have time to run up and bash. Just do a quick shock off on them. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's drop ice. Drop ice. We need fire.
Grabbing fire.
Okay.
Grab fire, please.
Atro, Atro is out. Take all burn
Grabbing
off,
fire.
please.
Got Atro.
We've got 2 Atros. He needs to interrupt. Okay, do not do any damage. Do not do
I got
any
boss.
damage. No damage, guys. No damage. Okay, single target abilities only on these Atros. We do not need to push boss into
Grab
interrupt
Doom,
phase.
please.
Grabbing dome.
Thank you.
Dots.
Getting Meg.
You shouldn't have
Carry
to
down.
be. You shouldn't have to be in the dome mag if you're not on the boss.
I'm down.
Getting bubbles.
Got halves.
Getting Zold. Nope.
Make sure we're watching the boss for interrupts, guys. We need to get this Atro down. Do no damage. No damage until everybody is up. Somebody please take fire off me. I'm gonna die.
Taking fire.
Rapid fire.
Thank you.
Okay.
We need to.
Wait.
We need to burn this. Burn the Atro.
More horn.
Single target only.
Oh. Dots are up.
He needs an interrupt. Somebody crushing shock him.
We have to be in the dome. He's outside the dome.
Okay, let's wipe. Wipe. So we're getting tripped up with something. What are we getting tripped up on?